Yeah, I was introduced to Isaac through my wife actually. So my wife followed Isaac on Instagram, I believe it was, for a long time. And when some stuff started coming up with my health, I was telling her about it, and she recommended that I at least follow Isaac, if not reach out to him for some sort of discovery call. So that's where I was introduced to you and your teachings. She was inspired by a little bit of both philosophy and background. Number one, I'm a type 1 diabetic, as are you. So you kind of understand some of the same struggles and stuff like that that I might be going through, and some of those same issues that are going on. And then also, yes, philosophically, you and her align pretty well as far as nutrition and stuff like that goes. And so ex facto, I'm also aligned with that as well. Yeah. So some of my challenges that kind of spurred me to reach out to you, Isaac, were number one, just a little bit of inconsistency with my blood sugar. So I had done a really good job for a long time of managing it, but things didn't really get out of control. They just weren't as consistent as they could be. And so I wanted to really fine tune my A1C. I mean, also, my cholesterol was going up per the standards. So I wanted to see about getting that corrected, just because the talk started coming up of it had been a couple times that the cholesterol was high. So the talk started of, do I need to go on a statin? Do I need to start getting an EKG test and all sorts of stuff like that? Stuff that I really don't want to be doing at this stage in my life, or really ever. So that's kind of what spurred me to reach out. I don't know if skeptical is the right word, right? I think I'm one of those people that's always kind of like, well, I can probably find a better way to do it myself, right? I can maybe go look at some resources and do it myself. Is just as a man, it can sometimes be hard to reach out and ask for help from someone. So that's probably my main thing. I wasn't really skeptical. I was confident that you could help me. The hard part is just, making the call and then trusting the process. It had been a couple times that my cholesterol level was coming back higher, and then
Yeah.
also my A1C was kind of trending up a little bit as well. Um, and both times I talked to my endocrinologist, she was like, "Hey, we need to talk about going on a statin and doing some different tests." And I was like, "Well, I don't want to do it or do that. I'd like to try to do this with diet and exercise." So I go do the diet and exercise, and still wasn't really seeing any results. That's probably because I was doing the wrong kinds of diet and exercise. So once I saw that I was trying to do it on my own and the results still weren't there, even though I was doing what I thought needed to be done, that was kind of the tipping point of, okay, probably need to seek out some outside help. Yeah. Yeah, we started in January, I think it was, working together, and I've just seen a lot more consistency, especially with my blood sugars. It's not uncommon at all to kind of see things going at like an 80-90% in range with my blood sugars, which is awesome. So that's been the best part. And I just feel good, which is awesome as well. So yeah, I think that's the main thing, is just the consistency that's come across from it. And the thing I like most about is it's kind of like background consistency, if you will. And what I mean by that is, like, I'm just kind of doing the things I learned over the last 3 or 4 months, and everything's just kind of taking care of itself in the background, right? It's kind of like you put the airplane on autopilot and you get to your destination. So it takes a lot of the guesswork and that sort of stuff out of it. As long as I'm in my routines, like I travel a decent amount for my job. But if I'm at home, or even if I'm able to do some of this stuff when I'm on the road, if I'm in my routine, I find my blood sugars are much more consistent and routine themselves. Yeah, I'd say give it a shot, right? I think that one thing you did really good, Isaac, was checking in through the process to make sure that I felt I was getting the value out of my investment that I needed. Because it is kind of an investment, right? Like, you're investing in your health and wellness, and hoping that you're getting something in return. And just try it would be my recommendation. It's not like a 2-year contract or anything like that you're signing yourself up for. It was pretty low stakes in just a few months. And again, you're checking in to make sure that what you're giving me is what I'm expecting. I never got into a situation where I was like, hey, I feel like we maybe need to do something here or something over here, because I was just trusting the process. But yeah, I felt that you were engaged in the whole process as well, just as much as I was. I just appreciate all your work through the process and getting me to where I am today. And I'm
Yeah.
hoping it's the start of a new journey for me with my type 1 diabetes.